You know, we need more analysis of this deal, so let's bring in KT McFarland. All right, KT, is the Iran deal like Obama's deal, or is it a clear-cut win for the president?
Clear-cut win for the president, and nothing like Obama's deal. First of all, the deal itself, Obama had no ability to inspect, right? There weren't snap inspections. They had to make an appointment to inspect any nuclear sites. And secondly, there was no method of punishing Iran if they disobey, if they broke the terms of the agreement. I guess they could have written a strong letter. But what does President Trump do? He has the ability to inspect for all of the nuclear sites. And number two, he's leaving that armada in place. If Iran steps out of line, boom, he'll put back on the economic and the military pressures.
They are getting some money back, though, aren't they? Their own money, frozen assets, that's going to be returned to them. There's going to be a $300 billion, development program. And there's no mention of missiles or drones.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain details that have to be worked out, but of all the main things, especially the money part of it, as President Trump said, it's performance-based. And where are we now? Okay, so when President Obama signed his deal, he left the proxies powerful in place, Hezbollah, Hamas. He left the Iranian economy powerful and in place. He left high oil prices. What, they were $140 a barrel during Obama's term? That made Iran really rich. President Obama left, Iran's military was intact, their economy was intact, everything was great. He empowered the mullahs, he empowered the IRGC. Trump is just the opposite. Iran's economy is in shambles. Its military has mostly been destroyed. Its defense industrial base is destroyed. The proxies, well, they're pretty much decimated. And we also now have a couple of abilities we didn't have before, and a lot of them are financial. So what we now can see is where Iran's moving money around. You know, a lot of their money was kept offshore in the Gulf Arab banks. Those countries have opened the books to us. So if Iran says, oh, we're going to use all that money to rebuild hospitals and infrastructure, and instead they're handing it to Hezbollah or trying to rebuild their nuclear sites, we'll see it. And boom, we can then reinforce punish them. But the immediate sense is that, as you just pointed out, the rocket ship is not going to be in Iran. It's going to be in the U.S. economy.
Democrats, they're not happy with the deal, though. Listen to this.
It seems like a complete giveaway to Iran. While Americans have been suffering higher gas prices, the president is now blessing $300 billion for Reconstruction fund for Iran. It seems unthinkable.
The way we're going to get out of this war, according to the president, is the Iranians will have more access to cash stored all around the world.
I think it emboldens the Iranians. It makes them more powerful. It gives them resources to build more ballistic missiles. It may leave them with the ability to develop a nuclear weapon.
So what do you think, KT? Are we emboldening the Iranians with this in any way?
You know, look, it would be emotionally satisfying for all of us to charge these guys, the regime, with war crimes and line them up against a wall and shoot them. But the problem is, what happens next? Regime change sounds great, but I've been through it with Vietnam and Afghanistan and Iraq. Regime change led by us means we have to put boots on the ground and run those countries. We don't want to do that. We also don't want to walk away like President Obama did when he flipped regimes and got rid of dictators during the Arab Spring. And then he walked away, and what happened? Chaos, civil war, terrorism. I think this gives us the ability to enforce this agreement. It gives the ability for Iran to rebuild itself if it chooses to. And if it doesn't, if they want to go back to their old evil ways, break the agreement, boom, we'll reinforce that agreement by military means and economic pressure.
Done. KT McFarland, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again real soon.
Thanks
a lot. Okay.